make our
What
theme
up?
TikTok sound.
We should make our theme our TikTok sound.
Make it into a TikTok sound. We should do a sound.
Totally. Bob's Bongos coming to a TikTok near you. What's up? Thank you so much for joining the Pot Smoking Moms. This is a podcast. We talk about parenting and cannabis. I am Sunny D along with my homegirl, Captain J.
Hello, hello, hello.
If you enjoy our podcast, please rate, subscribe, share, and be friends with us on social media. We're on several different platforms, primarily Instagram and TikTok. PotSmokingMoms.com is a website.
Not Facebook.
Yeah, no, not Facebook. Everybody over the weekend, people were like, I only got a Facebook. And then we were like, yeah, you probably won't like our podcast. I mean, we're there, but like, not really. So what are we smoking? I'm going to skip out today. I didn't even bring my stuff. We're coming to you live from each of our houses.
Yeah, we're not together today because we were together all weekend.
Yeah, we were together all weekend. That was enough, you know?
Had enough of you.
We had enough of each other.
I'm smoking my favorite because when I got back on Sunday, I went to the dispensary and they had some Mandarin Dream and I was like, yes, please. So,
yeah.
Of course.
Nice.
I got my fave in the bowl.
Nice.
Cheers.
Cheers. If you got something, smoke it up. Hopefully you're joining in with us. This past weekend, we were at Cannafest in Sarasota, which was super fun.
Oh my God, we had so much fun.
We had super fun. I mean, I had a few bouts of anxiety, which was not fun, but like, you know, it was putting myself in a different situation that I'm not used to. So
yeah, but that was like leading up to it. Once that we were there and everything started,
yeah,
you got into your element and you were fine.
Yeah, as soon as I got
we didn't know what to expect, and we're in a different place, you know.
And Corona
being out in public with a lot of people.
Yeah,
the election was still going.
Oh my God. This weekend was super emotionally charged, exhausting. It was like amazing.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. And being with Diane, Pothead Mom, we had a great time. It was a cute little Airbnb that we rented. We wanted a pool so bad, but didn't even get to use it.
Yeah.
Because it was too damn cold.
It was too cold. Plus, it was like a little rainy and...
Yeah, a tropical storm was coming.
Yeah, you know us. Overly ambitious. Not enough time to do all the things we want to do.
Every time. We're like, oh, we're going to get so many TikToks done. We're going to record tonight's episode while we're there, we thought.
Right. Exactly.
But we did get a good interview.
We did.
Day and Pothead Mom.
Yeah, we talked for a long time.
Yeah. Like what, 2 hours?
Yeah, just about 2 hours, pretty much.
And that's it. We took a break, and there was talking that happened during the break too.
I know there was so much talking that happened during the break. But we'll have that interview a little bit later. It was really great. We met so many wonderful people, and I feel bad because there's some people we didn't even get to meet out there that we were planning on meeting.
Yeah, I know. And when I saw their pictures and stuff afterwards, and I was like, oh my God, they were there. We didn't get to see them. I was like, shoot. Like, we didn't get to see Yanni. Who else was it that I can't recall right now, but I remember Isel said she was going to come, but she didn't. Yeah. But there was a couple other people that were there that we missed. Yeah.
But we did meet some people we were already following. They were following us and made some connections. I mean, I really, really enjoyed how moms came up to us, because the second they saw pot smoking moms, or I said something about pot smoking moms on the microphone, they were like, I'm a pot smoking mom.
Yeah, they would just walk right up to the tent and be like, hey, I'm a pot smoking mom, because we had our big banner with our logo and it said PSM Pot Smoking Moms. So it grabbed, I guess, attention, because we weren't like ever really not busy.
No,
Most
we
of
weren't.
The time, we always had somebody there to talk to.
Yeah.
And it was freaking awesome. I can't wait to do another one.
I honestly, I can't either. It was very successful, very interesting. We have some videos that we're putting up from the Cannafest. Yeah, we made some new connections, which is great. Hopefully we got some new audience members to listen to our podcasts. I know we got a few for sure.
Yeah, I mean, we went up from like 290 regular listeners. Like our number went up to like 302 or 300 around there today. So I feel like we did get more traffic from it.
Yeah. So that was
Which is
awesome.
awesome.
Absolutely. We happy Veterans Day.
Yes, today's Veterans Day. Thank you for your service. My husband is a veteran. Yeah, and we actually have a story coming in a little later about a veteran. So thank you for your service. Bummer, it's in the middle of the week. I hope you have the day off. My husband never has Veterans Day off. Yeah. He always has to work.
That sucks. They should at least let veterans have a Veterans Day off paid.
Yeah, I mean it's a holiday, and most places that observe like holidays are closed, but a lot of places don't close.
Yeah, so happy Veterans Day, guys. Hopefully you guys have a little J you can smoke up today.
Yeah, now that you're no longer serving, you should be fine.
Yeah. We got a Puff and Paint Zoom session coming up soon. We are trying to hash out some details, try to see if our buddy Bradley King will be joining us again. Yeah, hopefully towards the very end of November, beginning of December. So stay tuned for that. We will be posting up details pretty soon. Hopefully we'll have some details up later on today.
Probably going to be the beginning of December because the very end of November is Thanksgiving weekend.
Yeah. So, and that way we can kind of all bring in like the Christmas, cheer. Yeah, totally. Because I'm ready for Christmas.
My house is in shambles. I can't even decorate my house for Christmas. I'm like hoping it gets done before then.
Put up a tiny little tree, something to kind of like feel a little Christmassy. I know it's chaotic in your house right now, and that's really uncomfortable, but we could do. Yeah, and when it's over, it's gonna be amazing.
Yep.
Super amazing. Guess what time it is? When the regular news just doesn't cut it. News Nugs.
News Nugs with Sunny D and Captain J. Well, Congress will finally vote on the federal marijuana legalization next month, House leadership announces. They said that in September, so I don't know.
I know.
So less than a week after an election in which voters in 5 states approved ballot measures to legalize marijuana in some form, a top leader in the U.S. House of Representatives announced that the body will hold a floor vote on a bill to end federal cannabis prohibition next month. Yay! While the presidential election has seized national attention, with advocates hoping President-elect Joe Biden will make good on his campaign pledge to pursue modest marijuana reform starting next year, the comprehensive marijuana legalization bill is still in play during the current Congress.
House Majority Leader Steny Hoyer previously announced this summer that the chamber would vote on the Marijuana Opportunity, Reinvestment, and Expungement, or MORE Act, in September. But that plan was postponed following pushback from certain centrist Democrats who worried about the optics of advancing cannabis reform before passing another coronavirus relief package. Several of those members were voted out during an election in which voters in red states such as Montana and South Dakota approved cannabis legalization ballot measures, raising questions about the lawmakers' strategic thinking on the issue. In any case, Hoyer confirmed on Monday that the marijuana legalization is still on the table before the presidential transition and will get a vote in December. That could also raise the pressure on Biden to embrace legalization, a policy he's declined to adopt despite supermajority support among Democratic voters.
So the House will vote on the MORE Act to decriminalize cannabis and expunge the records of nonviolent cannabis offenses that have prevented many Americans from getting jobs, applying for credit and loans, and accessing opportunities that make it possible to get ahead in our economy, Hoyer said. The MORE Act, whose lead sponsor is Judiciary Committee Chairman Gerald Nadler, would federally deschedule cannabis, expunge the records of those with prior convictions, and impose federal 5% tax on sales, revenue from which would be reinvested in communities most impacted by the drug war. The legislation would also create a pathway for resentencing for those incarcerated for marijuana offenses, as well as protect immigrants from being denied citizenship over cannabis and prevent federal agencies from denying public benefits or security clearance due to its use, like the drug testing of people for welfare programs and things like that before. So if cleared, the panel almost a year ago and been waiting for the floor action since.
Justin Streakle, political director of NORML, told Marijuana Moment that the organization looks forward to working with the House leadership to ensure the success of the first ever vote to end marijuana on the floor of the Chamber of Congress. Even if the bill does pass in the Democratic-controlled chamber, as it's expected to with some bipartisan support, it remains unlikely that the Senate will follow suit. Majority Leader Mitch McConnell is a champion of the hemp industry, but staunchly opposes further marijuana reform. All right, guys. Settle down. Even so, a symbolic vote for legalization could send a strong signal to the incoming Biden administration. Vice President-elect Kamala Harris is the lead Senate sponsor of the MORE Act, but she's indicated she would not proactively push the former vice president to evolve further on cannabis reform. Boo.
So given Biden's former approach to champion punitive anti-drug legislation as a senator and his ongoing obstinance of marijuana legalization at a time when polls show that a clear majority of Americans favor the policy change, there remains some skepticism about his willingness to make good on his campaign promises to prioritize decriminalization or the other reforms he discussed. However, the president-elect has conceded that his work on punitive anti-drug legislation was a mistake. Outside of Congress, Biden could also make moves to advance cannabis reform administratively. He could, for example, reinstate a version of the Obama-era Justice Department memo that directed federal prosecutors to generally not interfere with state marijuana laws, which was rescinded by the Trump administration in 2018. It is also within the power of the executive branch to reschedule marijuana under the Controlled Substances Act. Biden has pledged to make a move to Schedule 2. Though that would not achieve many of the changes advocates seek.
The president has the unilateral authority to grant acts of clemency, including pardons and commutations, to people who have been convicted of federal marijuana or other drug offenses. He also gets to appoint an attorney general, drug czar, and other officials who will make decisions on how the federal government handles the issue, though many of those officials will be subject to Senate confirmation. For his part, Representative Earl Blumenauer told Marijuana Moment in August that the Biden administration and the Biden Department of Justice would be a constructive player in advancing legalization.
So that's interesting. So during the Obama era, the Justice Department had a memo, like a directive not to interfere with state marijuana laws. And then in 2018, that was repealed by the Trump administration. So that's when you're like, I guess when the federal government usually raids growers or something like that, or dispensaries in different states. I think that's happened in California.
Yeah, back in the day, I used to see a lot of reports where, there was a documentary I had watched
just
where...
like seize it, right?
Huh?
They normally just seize it.
Yeah, but that's like work and money, and it's like ridiculous. It's like ridiculous to be like, oh yeah, you can make your own law if you want, and then like not
and interfere.
Yeah,
with state laws. Yeah.
What the hell?
That's
no counterintuitive. Like, why would you even let them pass it if they can't really do it?
Exactly.
That's not well. We'll be continuing to follow up with that. We know that the MORE Act is something they've been trying to do for a while now, but we will continue to follow up on that until
it's been pushed through.
Until it is a success. In the meantime,
I love you, Miami!
So this is a follow-up story We've talked about this story a few times. A Florida school dean and combat veteran fired in medical marijuana case. So a Florida high school dean, a combat military veteran suspended after testing positive for medical marijuana, was fired by the Marion County School Board on Wednesday after a lengthy discussion. Mike Hickman, a Bellevue high school dean, faced a hearing after the board asked an administrative law judge to hear the case and issue a recommendation. The judge, Suzanne Van Wyk, I guess, of the State Division of Administrative Hearings in Tallahassee, issued an order a few months ago that upholds the decision of the superintendent schools, Heidi Mayer, to fire Hickman. So basically, the judge upheld their decision. However, the judge also stated in the order that the school could choose suspension instead. For more than an hour on Wednesday, the school board debated ways to handle punishment for Hickman. Board members were concerned that they would set a dangerous precedent if they allowed Hickman to continue working after violating the school policy. They debated issuing a 20-day or more suspension without pay if he agreed to no longer use medical marijuana, since the usage violates their drug-free work policy. The board member, Nancy Stacy, Hickman's biggest advocate, said that the board itself failed Hickman by not updating the school policy to make it clear the medical marijuana is deemed illegal under federal law and that usage would be a violation.
In November 2019, Hickman broke up a fight at Bellevue High. During the fight, he was injured and had to report a worker compensation doctor for treatment. During that visit, he tested positive for marijuana, because that's like part of the whole procedure when you're doing workman's comp.
Yeah.
When Hickman was asked whether he would stop using medical marijuana if he was given a suspension, he said no, adding that the medical marijuana helps him with pain suffered from years of surgery stemming from combat wounds. When Hickman did not agree to stop using medical marijuana, Stacy sided with the rest of the board, voting 5-0 to fire him. Hickman said he did not have a comment, though his Clearwater attorney Mark Herdman did. It's just another unfortunate decision handed down by the Marion County School Board to fire yet another good employee, Herdman said.
So moments after the decision, a representative from the local teachers union, the Marion Education Association, sent the Star Banner text comment. Star Banner is a publication. This is the text. Imagine if this employee just sat back and let the two students continue to fight without regard for their safety. We wouldn't be here right now, said Chris Altabello, an executive director who represents both the teachers and support personal unions. Or if we were, it would have been for not intervening, he continued. He was not impaired more than someone who took an aspirin for a headache. They implied that this is tantamount to smoking pot in the boys' bathroom.
Ridiculous.
That is. Mayor filed a complaint in January seeking to fire Hickman. He requested a hearing. At first, the school board suspended him without pay. 2 weeks later, decided to change the suspension to include pay as they waited for the hearing.
I mean, if they found him smoking on school property, that's a whole different thing. But this
and
is
just because he had it in his system doesn't mean he was high then. Like,
yeah,
he may like do like a tincture in the morning. Who knows what he does, whatever his regimen is. But it doesn't mean he was high in the moment while he was working just because he tested positive.
I like that he was like, no, I'm not going to stop doing it.
No.
Like,
why should he? And go back to opioids and like addictive drugs? Yeah, why? Why should he have to? They shouldn't have to dictate what medicines you should be taking.
Yeah. The district has maintained that marijuana use is against federal law and that if the district didn't act, then it could lose federal funding. Also, board policy states that employees should inform their supervisor if prescribed medical marijuana. At no time prior to his positive drug test screen did Hickman notify his supervisor that he was using medical marijuana, according to the administrative law judge's ruling. Hickman had been employed by the board since 2010. Wick wrote in her opinion that the school board should enter a final order upholding the charges against Hickman or impose other discipline consistent with Florida Administrative Code. Wick noted in her 8-page decision that Hickman argued that it is unfair that he is being penalized for use of medical marijuana to treat chronic pain, but would be allowed to continue teaching under the influence of opioid pain medications, which he took for years prior to the availability of medical marijuana.
Okay, so yeah, it's okay to be drugged up on oxy or whatever to get through his pain. That makes no sense, whatever. So Diane Gullett, Marion's current school superintendent, stands by mayor's decision. Mark Levitt, a Winter Park attorney who represents the superintendent in employee hearings, asked the school board during the hearing not to let Hickman's military service cloud the issue, adding, "We appreciate his service." Okay, so we shouldn't even consider that he was a veteran and how it helps him for his PTSD and pain. Wow. Okay. So though medical marijuana is now legal in Florida, the state legislator made it clear that doesn't mean employees can go to work under the influence. Again, they're assuming that he was under the influence at work. They're assuming there that he was under the influence at work. Herdman said that the client does not need sympathy. He was using medical marijuana to help with combat injuries suffered while in the military. So, yeah.
Sorry.
You're good.
Where are we at? I had to plug my computer and it was about to die.
Oh, the next spot that's red.
In the end, board members Kelly King and Beth McCaw, along with Vice Chairwoman Nancy Thrower and Chairman Eric Cummings, felt that it was a precedent that they could not set. For example, if they did not act against Hickman, would employees in areas such as transportation be allowed to begin using medical marijuana? I could hear him like saying this in the courtroom. The district did recently pass a medical marijuana policy for students. The policy allows parents to check their child out of school and administer the recommended dose in their car and parking lot, but the district employee policy is zero tolerance. What? The board agreed it needs to tweak its policy to make it clear that medical marijuana is not allowed by the staff. Yeah, but that's insane.
That's crazy to me. No, what's crazy to me is that what they said earlier where they're like, oh, it's okay to be medical marijuana is legal, but you're not allowed to be under the influence while you're working. And again,
how could they tell?
Know he was under the influence while he was working? That was never said in any of the stories that we read that he was high at the moment.
Right.
It was just that he tested positive for marijuana because obviously if you're using marijuana, it's going to be in your system.
Yeah. Yeah. It even takes a month for it to be out of your system.
Yeah. It's unfortunately, it's very sad. He lost his job. He worked for the school district for over 20 years and was in the military and is a veteran for a long time. And the fact that they're like, oh, and don't let the fact that he is a veteran cloud our judgment. Let's not consider that as part of our decision-making process.
Yeah.
I know you're trying to be objective here so that it's like fair across the board.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't think anything is black and white. Like that's why there's a whole justice system to kind of determine what kind of ways to go about things. Like, I don't understand why. I mean, obviously they want to it's kind of that thing what people say, if I make an exception for you, I'm going to have to make an exception for everyone, which is like kind of bullshit. It's kind of like, I think it's like, that's bullshit because ultimately...
And it's bullshit that they expect you to tell them that you got a medical marijuana recommendation.
Right, because so what? So they could fire you on the spot anyway?
Yeah, and why am I expected to tell you what medicine I take for my health?
Right.
Like, isn't that HIPAA? Like, we're supposed... Like, if I have to take a certain epilepsy medication for my seizures or whatever, that's not cannabis, and why do I have to tell you what medicine I'm taking?
Exactly. Nobody... That's all... That's all protected. That's all... a HIPAA violation. Like,
as long as they're not
to know that
too impaired to do their job, it should be no one's business.
Right. So, anywho,
sorry. Happy Veterans Day, and we're sorry you lost your job.
Yeah, I mean, we got to do better. Ultimately,
we got to do better. It has to be legal.
Yeah, we got to do better about that. So we'll, keep fighting the good fight for people like him.
Mike Hickman.
We're going to keep fighting for you, bud. So this weekend, we were also very, very, very lucky to have a conversation with not one, but two of our friends. I mean, we mostly spoke to Rafael from Third Day Collective, but also we got to spend a lot of time with our buddy Pothead Mom. So we were able to get together with them and have a nice conversation. Sometimes we got a little off track.
A little.
Even though I was kind of like, hey guys, we need to be on track, okay? And then we immediately started to just
Go
veer
back off
completely
track.
off track. Yeah. But for the most part, we wanted to talk to Rafael because, you know, we still have our reservations about CBD. I started using products of his recently, and I've been blown away by a lot of his products. I mean, to be honest, the CBD tincture I've incorporated into my daily routine, and his Delta 8 THC gummies are the best. I mean, I was like, everybody's got to try these. Like you know, I think they're amazing. So we wanted him to kind of break down how, you know, he processes his CBD and how he started getting into the business of CBD and CBD flower. His CBD flower is amazing as well. So he was able to drop some knowledge for us, and we hope you enjoyed this interview. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Hey, bro. This is more like Patreon stuff. This is what we're going to get to. Let's get to this now and not divert, because Rafa has a lot of important things to say. Every time we're like bust with information, both of us just want to talk about everything at the once, you know?
True, I do feel that.
So you're the CBD man, and honestly, I feel like I'm a real cynic when it comes to products, but I feel like you know your shit, and I just want to learn from you and educate our audience, because I think we still have a lot of reservations when it comes to CBD, and there's new Delta 8 that I heard it from you first, and now I'm hearing it more and more. We want to hear about all that. But before we get to that,
sure.
Can you tell us a little bit about like how you got here, what your story is with,
doubt.
Cannabis?
So here's how it all started. About 7 years ago, I was working on trying to get everything together in my life. I had my son, and I needed something that I could make a lot of money. I could feel comfortable about what I was doing and pick my own path. I've worked and made other companies so much money, brought up so many different companies, gave them my heart, took them to the level of the out of this world. I've taken multiple companies to entirely different situations where they can earn more, where they're expanding more. And I was awesome as a manager or in sales, right? But I never had anything of my own that I believed in myself enough to be able to push, and that I was confident enough that it could help people. So when you're stuck, sometimes people make you offers. Some buddies of mine made me a couple of different offers. I declined the offers and went right. They wanted me to go left. I went right. I said, what's CBD? Anybody have any idea what CBD is? And they're like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't get you high. Do something else, man. People don't want that. So no one had my back. That's a fact. And I said, this is something very important to me, because at the time I wasn't a cannabis user at all. So that means I came all the way to 27 years old. I never smoked in my life. Nothing.
Never interested?
Yeah, I was a little bit interested when I was little, probably like middle school, but I grew up in a pretty strict family, Cubans.
Yep.
And I can't say heck in my house or I'll get my teeth knocked out, or damn, or suck my teeth, or look weird or anything. I'll just get attacked and thrown off the roof. So, and I also saw what drugs did to people and how it destroyed their lives and careers and families, and I've seen it make people billions of dollars. So I saw a lot of things growing up, and I made the decision to not do anything. I did drink, I smoked cigarettes. I probably made worse decisions with that than I did. Actually, I know I did. I made terrible decisions using alcohol and tobacco. To be honest with you, I probably would have been more chill. Now, what ended up happening was I looked into CBD, but I couldn't find CBD flower 7 years ago. It didn't exist. So they would call it hemp. And I said, well, what's hemp? I had Adidas sneakers made out of hemp. Can you smoke the sneakers? Yeah, can I smoke the necklace? Does it get you high? No, it doesn't, but it's a strong fiber. And then I start digging deeper into Lithuanian farming techniques, and then I find myself trying to buy hemp seeds online. I get on eBay, nothing. Somewhere, somehow, the internet took me to ebay.cz, which is Czechoslovakian eBay. I had to use Google Translate to translate Czechoslovakian into English and then make my orders accordingly outside of the United States from my duplex with my air mattress on the floor with my 1-year-old. With no job, no car accident, broke my back, broke my neck. Nothing, everything. I'm on my ass. Everybody likes to play there on their ass. I was for sure on my ass. The only way was up. So I thought of this. I ordered the seeds. I gave them to a cultivator. We cultivated the hemp. And then I used that and made my first extract. And I smoked it. And it was called Felonia 32. It only had like 3% CBD. The flower that I smoked earlier is 26.3% CBD. That's the strongest in the entire world. So now I have the exotic of the caviar of all hemps now. Then I had nothing. I had so little that I didn't even have information. Information is what's so powerful. It's not the money that's powerful. Because if you know how to do something, you'll make it happen. I didn't even know what I was doing. So then I started reading these Americana tincture-making homeopathic medicine from the 1800s and beyond, like Native American medicine-making techniques. So I had books. I started reading these books. It took me years to read them all and understand them all, and I started to take the hemp flower and extract it. Yeah, a lot of people did canna butters, but you lose certain things doing that. And I didn't have the mind to do that. I did other things. So long story short, I can't tell you everything, but I have a proprietary extraction process that takes no less than 365 days. So any oil that you take from me is whole plant, and that doesn't exist. And it's strain specific. And it's so special, right? It's its own lane. But it wasn't supposed to be like that. I didn't know it was going to do that. I just thought, hey, I don't have the resources to obtain machinery to be able to extract this. So let me just do it the cheapest way I know how. And that cheap way ended up becoming the VVS Flawless Diamond of CBD, which is very interesting to a lot of people. Most people with CBD business on their mind, they'll ask me, hey, but how much do you have? Like, what if I need 10,000 bottles right now? People love to push the what if and hypothetical. They live in a fake world.
Yeah, but right. And it's
Guy,
like, why are you interested in that? Like,
I have a 65,000 square foot warehouse that's air conditioned with 15 years of oil worth stored. And they're like, yeah, right. Okay. So since there was no right answer, let's just get back to it. Yeah. I have it. It's available.
Yeah.
I promise you. Yeah. Order 10,000 bottles. Let me prove you right. Let me prove you wrong.
Where your mouth is.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So people like to
Those
measure
don't have like
your value.
A shelf life, or like an expiration date?
Mine does not. If you're using a rancid, oxygenated crude oil with a rancid, oxygenated coconut oil, you're working on a level of possibility where it could go rancid anywhere from 1 to 5 years. But who's going to let a $120 tincture sit on their shelf for 5 years?
Yeah, I know. And it's like, you know, it's...
Get to it.
No, because you said you have like 15 years worth of supply.
I do.
Like,
because...
That sounds like insane.
But I actually do, which is funny. So it seems fake, but it's not. Like a winemaker in Italy has his secret stash of, say, 50 barrels.
Oh, God.
And then there's his great-great-grandfather that had his stash then, which is only, it's already been drained out, and the only thing you can find is the pieces of grape, the skins of the grapes on the inside of the barrel, that exclusive, they scrape it, it's like a jam. I saw, shout out to Action Bronson on Fuck That's Delicious. This was like the rarest wine scrapings on the planet.
Yeah.
Like that, I have that.
But what? But you can age CBD?
You can age cannabis. So there's multiple different, we're going to get into Delta 8 and CBN right now. So in the aging process, depending on how long it's oxygenated, say the extract was left to the air, it starts changing. So that proves how important it is to keep it safe and airlocked until it's time to use. So once you crack it, then you have like a 5-year shelf life, you know? But until you crack it, it will last forever. It's suspended in a coconut oil, which is antifungal and antiviral. So I had access to a entire crop 7 years ago. So I have like VSOP, the XOXOXO of genetics that aren't even in use right now. So right now there's Lifter, Bubba Kush, Sour Space Candy, Special Sauce.
How many strains do you have in CBD flower?
I have
You said you have
somewhere
CBD,
around 20
CBN.
strains right now.
20?
strains?
Yeah. From Auto 1, Auto 2, Electra, strains that are mother strains that come from the first land race. So they'll take an old school strain from Europe and they'll mix it with a very fruity marijuana strain and then continue to breed them until there's very low to no THC. Yeah. And I have all of them. I have the marijuana mothers and fathers. I have agricultural hemp. I have fiber hemp. I could start a seed company. Shout out, Third Day Seed Company coming soon. It's very interesting, though, how you can't sell seeds. How about that?
You can't sell
There's
hemp
laws against
seeds?
selling CBD seeds. You can't sell
Correct.
seeds.
Like, it's the craziest thing, you
Yeah,
know?
there's all kinds of crazy
Agriculture
things you
department
have to
doesn't play
jump
any
through.
games.
All the hoops you have to jump through.
If you grow bananas in New York and you drive all your bananas in a 18-wheeler into Florida, you have to get, like, super searched. They got to check those bananas because your bananas could take over the entire banana market down here.
Population.
It's very interesting what you think your freedoms are.
U.S. Customs.
You go to
US
Publix,
Customs
how many
is like-
tomatoes exist at Publix?
I have no
Four
idea.
tomatoes. There's over 15,000
Heirloom.
different types of tomatoes.
I know.
But what would happen if you fell in love with a purple tomato
And you can't find it.
and you can't find it nowhere?
Oh, my God.
Or then you save the seeds from that and start growing it. Then you start stealing all the money from all the other tomato companies. Nobody wants a regular tomato anymore. They want yours. You see how that works? The underground and the black market serves the most righteous purpose because when marijuana became illegal to grow and sell and cultivate and even use for medical marijuana purposes, which it was medical before, people had to go from outdoor grow to indoor. People didn't want to grow indoor,
Oh, but look what we got.
and now look what's going on. You can't even, there's no competition. I know that when you read Florida, shout out to Florida Cannabis News, their Instagram.
Oh,
every
yeah.
time they put
we're
that
big
little
fans.
block, you
We're
go,
big fans.
that little block, you go, damn, that's some new info. I got to read every word of
Yeah,
this. This is going to be good.
yeah.
Every time I
we love
scroll, I
them.
stop to read what they're sharing. I'm like, oh,
Yeah, well, I've told them we use some of their stories on our podcast.
a lot.
Right? You
Yeah,
see?
we are to like be aware of what we want to talk about. It's like we
It's a
check
good
with
jumping
them.
point for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, long story short, because I can go off in a tangent. I had nothing. I ordered seeds from across the world. We grew it. I extracted it. And that's my jumping point. And then moving forward, I started to give away a ton of it for a very long time until I started hearing things that made me feel like this is real and I should make it my full time instead of my side job. And I went and got the extracts tested. I mean, this was a scene. It cost $3,400 to get a 7-page panel 4 years ago.
Hey, stay there. You sound perfect there. I didn't want to interrupt you talking.
Yeah.
Please do.
But I was trying to signal you, but then
I saw
it
you
looked
signal
weird.
me, and I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm doing it right now. She's
no.
not saying anything.
I'm sorry.
You
I was
know.
trying
No,
to
right there, you sound
wait,
great.
but like that is perfect there.
So how I truly came to be is that in the extracting process, I started to convince small local shops to carry some of my product.
Okay.
And I would run a consignment deal with them, which ended up hurting them in the long run purposefully so that they can believe in themselves and purchase outright and get off the front.
Yeah, like
Shout out to anyone that can follow along. If you sell my product and don't pay for it, I want 70%. If you pay for it, I'll charge you 40%.
Yeah.
So, how many times do you think a person would sell it before they believed in themselves? Want to know the answer? They never believed in themselves. So I would replenish them 100 times, 100 bottles at a time. And they were making all this money, and it was the only thing selling in their store, and they still wouldn't believe in me. Until this freak incident happened where a gentleman that owns a pizzeria in Fort Lauderdale named Pizza City, his name is David Nardy.
Why is it every time a pizza place?
I was just getting ready to say.
I know. It's always a pizza place.
Pizza places.
Entrepreneur spirit. He needs to make money. He's selling it by the slice in a bourgeois area.
Yeah.
This guy needs to pay the bills, or
Right,
how
he
much
needs to-
pizza can you sell in the most affluent area in Fort Lauderdale?
Oh my God! And everybody sells pizza.
That's the word, right? Affluent?
Yeah.
I know. When it's all Jaguars parked up everywhere, how many pizzas can you sell? The answer is not a lot.
Yeah.
You're going to have to put truffle duck butter on that pizza before anything happens and give it away.
Or
But
sell
pot-
brownies, edibles on the side.
But CBD pizza.
really is. I mean, honestly,
Pot pizza?
So
I
what
was
happened
high.
was-
Yeah, I was like high today, and I got pizza.
Fire.
And it was like
It was the most amazing pizza.
Yo, word. Word, that shit could
it's
have been.
mellow mushroom.
That shit could have been the,
mushroom.
what's it called for the freezer? What's
Geared
it called?
towards
The pizza
those.
rolls. There's still been fire.
Pizza rolls. Listen, I can never cook a pizza roll without it fucking exploding and me having to eat an empty shell of pizza roll with all the guts.
With
Where does
all
it
over.
explode?
The guts.
Have you ever bit into one that
how I
was
feel.
hot and exploded all over you?
Yeah, and
that's
then
the
now the
worst.
roof of
Third
your
degree
mouth.
burn?
All
The
right.
roof of your mouth is burnt. And
Man
now you have
down,
to-
mom down.
Yeah,
Hot mom down.
Hey, you still finish the box.
For sure.
With a
Let it cool
burned
down. I'm going to eat
roof.
all of it.
And then
So this
you'll be
pizza
going,
guy reached out to you?
David Nardy reached out to me. Shout out to David Nardy. God bless you wherever you are. You very strange individual. Rafael Alvarez said that. This guy was a freak of nature. This guy is an anomaly. This guy
guy
was
is David
sent from the universe to me. David Nardy, hits me up. He goes, buddy, I really like your CBD oil, but I'm not going to buy it from, well, you wish I would say your shop's name, buddy. He doesn't want to buy it from this shop anymore because it's $120 a bottle. Can he buy it in wholesale? Can he buy a bulk order from me? I said, absolutely. I'll be there yesterday. Where are you? I pull up to Pizza City. The guy's like, we've been trying all these CBD oils, over 50. I have a YouTube channel. I've been reviewing every brand. Yours is the best I've ever tasted in my life. Why? Because my extraction process protects the terpenes and flavonoids and fats and all of that. It doesn't taste like a chlorophyll, alcohol rub, mud sludge. It doesn't taste like 30 weight oil to anybody who works on combustible engines. This shit looks like straight motor oil.
Yeah.
Most CBD oil tastes like straight poison. And I know this because I tasted it and I used to hate it. I don't know what made me think to get into CBD. Maybe it was so that I could please my own taste buds and my own palate. But long story long.
Yeah, shout out to your gummies.
Word. Shout out to those. We're going to get right into this.
I had this.
Would you like to try
What
some?
is? I ate one.
Okay.
Oh, I ate a Delta 8.
Ate the Delta 8.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we're just going to go ahead and do it right now.
It's Delta
So,
8. the
Caitlin's
gummy
new
thing.
business is going to be Delta 8. Delta, ATE. That is going to be our new
Oh, Delta
flagship
8.
gummy
Stop it.
business. Just
Okay,
going to throw that out there.
ATE.
Is it
How did I walk
ATE?
right into
You did.
that?
You
That's
totally
Instagram.
You have a way with this.
Well, soon.
That's
You know,
awesome.
it's so hot. She loves making them. We're partners in doing that, so I got you.
Oh,
Delta 8,
ATE.
you're
Hell yeah.
Damn.
She's
You're
on
like
the same
the
wavelength.
Obi-Wan
I
Vodka.
know. I'm
Hot
sorry.
mommy.
I am sorry. My kids hate it. They hate it. They honestly.
They can't lie to you.
They think that no, they can't, and they think that I'm psychic, and they get super sketched out. They're like, "Why the fuck?"
They're
do
not
you
twins,
know?
are they?
No, but
Well, I feel
Mom
like you have a
knows
certain
everything.
awareness that's
yeah,
like,
it's called hypervigilance from extreme trauma.
yeah. Well, there
Facts.
you have it.
You try not to get shanked. I
Yeah.
hear you, man.
Yeah,
Watch the
there you
corner,
go.
watch the
It's a
corner, watch the
superpower now,
corner.
though.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it keeps me alive.
David Nardy grabs this oil. He looks at me. He says it's the best flavor.
But I'm sorry, I have a question
It
about
was
Delta
crazy.
8. Why is Delta 8 different? It's THC?
It is THC.
Okay, so it has psychoactive effects.
The English language is torturing your subconscious mind because it's
Okay.
a spell. And the number one spell that's been casted, and it's going to be very hard to shake, is the most relevant, which is Delta 9. Delta 9 THC.
So that's
If
what
it ain't Delta 9 THC, I don't even want to look at you. I'm leaving your store.
Yeah.
There's 118 cannabinoids and 200 plus terpene content.
Right.
Name 7 outside of CBD, CBG, CBN, CBC, THCVA, THC,
THCA.
besides THCA. You don't. Because
I
time...
mean, if I could actually think and I wasn't on so many of those.
You want me to blow your mind right now? I'm going to take you right down the path of what brought me to here.
Okay.
So the first cannabinoid ever discovered was what, ladies? Take a wild guess.
THC.
THC.
Which THC? Delta
9,
9, Delta 10,
Delta
Delta
9.
7, Delta 6, Delta 8
Yeah, that's
It was the first one?
Yeah.
ever. The first measurable cannabinoid. So, like I said 100 times today, knowledge is like a lethal weapon. It is like it's like a magic spell like in the movies. The more you know. How in the world is it now? Yes, rainbow. Insert rainbow sound.
Yeah.
The more you
So
know,
on
you
brand
know
with our
very
generation.
You know very little.
I mean, yeah.
Care so much that you need every single drop of it. Fear of missing out, right? I had to go into hyper speed on the knowledge, obtaining the knowledge in multiple languages because I didn't have a job and I had a 1-year-old. So that's my fear, is to drop the ball and be anything less than everything I can be.
Yeah.
And that's an agreement that I made with myself as soon as I saw my baby. I said, okay, that's it. Now I'm going to live every moment to bring home for us, to take care of home first and provide to the furthest extent. Delta 8, I'm going to circle back. David Nardy did this video, and the video went viral on YouTube. And everybody cares what David Nardy's going live on YouTube for some reason. He goes live at the restaurant making pizzas. The guy throws my CBD oil in the pizza. All hell breaks loose.
That sounds like
So that's right about the time where I was about to go on the run. This is real. This is before Farm Bill 7606 revisited 2018. This is before everything.
shit.
This was crazy. There was 200 plus people had lied. The next morning. The next morning was double. The next morning was double. Listen, this guy was ringing up, grabbing more product, selling flour, selling gummies, selling juice, selling every single product I could give him. He was flooding the world with it. It went from pizza to all hell breaking loose. All these restaurants started grabbing oil from me. And then the Sun Sentinel came. And I should have known by the phone call it was going to be a problem. The reporter, which will be named at another day, this individual does a soft interview with me and says, "You sound like you know what you're talking about." Rude, though. Very rude.
That
It says,
sounds rude.
"We're going to send some people down there." So they send a little Cuban couple from Hialeah.
Oh God.
The guy is the truth. The girl is the truth. Videographer, light, sound, the whole nine. We do a 45-minute interview. I have my friend record it. The entire interview gets deleted. And the most grand slander story ever written about cannabis in the entire United States was written on me. I didn't say a word they wrote. I didn't say anything that was in the newspaper. That's crazy, right?
Yeah.
So Fake news is real. Hello.
For sure.
I did not say
The
that.
people who say fake news is a thing circulate so much fake news too.
That was old. That's old. And that's just part of the game when it comes to doing what he did. Guess how bad it backfired on him.
So, but wait,
If
these
you could
people
imagine.
interviewed you and then they wrote a completely different story? Or
Correct.
did they talk to the Nardy guy?
Nardy says, hey, I only review it. You got to talk to my man Ralph. He's the one who created this oil. So on Sun Sentinel, if you type in Sun Sentinel, Third Day Collective, Rafael Alvarez, CBD, or marijuana oil,
What
as
is
it was
the
written in
narrative?
Marijuana oil.
So the slander story says Rafael Alvarez is lacing marijuana oil pizzas at Pizza City.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Are you freaking kidding
For
me?
real?
Yes, F-bombing serious. I couldn't believe my eyes.
You can curse, by the
the
way.
next
I don't
day,
know why I said
algorithm,
freaking.
right? You got to wait like 15 minutes before you can drop the fucko bomb on here. That helps your algorithm, I heard. But so yeah, you don't want to just come out like fucking mom's pockets.
Yeah, you want to reel them in. Then be
Excuse me,
like,
I'm
can't
stumbling.
swear, can't swear.
Yes,
No,
yes.
whatever.
It's me again. You're subconscious. It's pot smoking mom. Smoke with me. Follow me. The guy is scared to give the interview. I give the interview. The interview gets deleted. They write a slander story. I'm on the front page of Sun Sentinel sitting in front of the pizza shop. The next morning was Monday, and I was on the cover of 57 newspapers. All hell broke loose. It is now a slander story in multiple languages across the planet and the internet.
But what? So then what happened? So then what happened?
So what they did was they ended up starting to sneak around and send secret shoppers to, goodness gracious, great balls of fire. She pulled it
She
up.
pulled it up.
It's real. It's a real thing. And
No,
so
for sure.
Third Day
I'm on the
Collective,
edge of my seat.
Hollywood-based CBD
Jessica's like,
supplier.
we're out. We
We're-
need
first of all, my
fucking
office, my
popcorn.
studio,
We're
my
just
shop, everything's Fort Lauderdale. They were making things up so crazy. I didn't even live in Hollywood.
Mostly I've been getting, will this pizza get you high?
Facts.
Is that what it says?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Is there THC in CBD?
Okay, but all right. I need to read this freaking thing.
What I would do is I would give the interview and communicate properly. And then what ended up happening is my account on Instagram is deleted. Not immediately, but very, very soon after the release of the article. Now, the 56 newspapers or 57 newspapers the next day, that's when shit started getting super scary. Because then other people in other places start coming out saying, hey, we have CBD, and we have this brand, and we use it in our cafe in Delray Beach, and we use it at our donut
And then it
spot
became
in
a
West Palm.
novelty.
Yes, it became a novelty as soon as I made the newspaper. A week later, you see CBD food menus on the same street.
So, but the article painted you in a way where you were trying to fuck with people or so. Like, why don't?
Yes.
Knowledge. They
Yes,
thought
they
that
did. I'm sorry. I'm
reading it now?
right now.
He didn't know.
They
The
have
reporter doesn't
pictures
know.
of True Leaf talking about a CBD shop. Like what?
So what?
Ridiculous.
Read. Is there anything
Shout out to
like
Truly.
that bounces off there that we could read so that people can get an idea? Because I'm kind of so intrigued.
I
by it.
did. I read some
well,
of it.
they did other little spots too. Other little restaurants and such, and little
Well,
eateries.
this is the one talking about the pizza.
Okay, well, yeah, that was
and
mine.
you
Okay.
in particular, and it's talking about how will this get you high?
But that's the tone overall.
That's the tone
It's not like
overall.
Look for
it's not the
laced.
link. It doesn't.
Look
That's
for
not
the
to
word
link you
laced.
in, and then you.
No, this
Can you
is
search that
painting
article?
it in like a negative,
Oh.
like this
Type in
is,
laced.
If
Laced
THC
marijuana.
is suspected, the police department must be made aware.
Wow.
So say we
Jesus.
interviewed Monday. He
This is the
went.
Sun Sentinel.
He went and found 5 shops that were considering using it. And then about a week after the interview, they went around and actually saved the footage from all the other restaurants.
Yeah, they do.
They deleted mine.
Yeah, they do have.
I have the video.
little things
Oh.
They didn't put it. So this is crazy. What ends up happening is they interview detectives.
Oh.
DEA.
What?
And the cops are on TV going, we're looking for anyone who thinks this is safe to
Yeah, in
consume,
Orlando.
distribute. Buddy, we're looking for you.
Yeah.
On
CBD.
23, CBD. Ahora, CBD.
No, there was
on everything. I was on every channel.
When did this happen?
That was like 3 years ago or 2 years ago.
2018 is some
2
of the
years
articles.
ago.
Shoot, what a lifetime has gone by since then. So then all hell breaks loose in the real world, not just the internet world.
Yeah,
and
CBD
the crazy
explodes.
videos.
Everybody's like, I fucking rub CBD on everything.
Even worse, Trump's giving a
Fucking
speech.
CBD
R.I.P.
turning-
Trump. Trump's giving a speech,
hair.
right? And MSNBC on MSNBC Live, and there's tickers. The tickers like stocks.
You're
and
on a
Bitcoin,
fucking
et cetera.
ticker?
No, I'm to the right of his head. I got the pictures of everything.
Oh my god.
Like, who are you talking to? I was sitting there eating dinner with my son. I look at this shit. I go, I'm going to jail like a motherfucker.
Oh my.
I'm going to fucking jail. This is it. The laws ain't clear enough. They were saying I was interstate trafficking pizza pies.
What?
Yeah, they
Look it up.
They went in
wrote
hard.
the craziest story. So it caught the attention of MSNBC Live. 3 weeks later, dead asleep,
MSNBC
working
Live?
myself to death. I got my copyrights. My Instagram got deleted with my whole life. Third Day Collective deleted. At Third Day Collective deleted. I had to make a new IG, Third Day LLC. Then Third Day LLC gets deleted. Third Day LLC 954. Third Day LLC 954 gets deleted. I make a backup Third Day LLC.
that explains why I don't.
Well, there was no credit card processing yet. There was no nothing. I was the front of the line. One employee, me. Who do I trust? Me. I'm on Good Morning America, bro.
No.
But for CBD,
I swear to God on my life.
No. What?
With an all-female doctor cast and an all-female audience, 11.5 million people tuned in. That lady was like this, Mina. Third Day Collective. Yo, let me tell you guys something. The most profitable CBD company in the entire United States of America is Green Roads. And I rattled the owner's mind at this giant cannabis conference when I was the first person to ask a question. Yeah, over here. I'm doing like a kid. Remember you hold your arm up like this? I'm holding my arm up. Over here. Please let me speak to this guy. Please.
Like
please,
at
please.
Comic-Con.
I'm at Comic-Con. And I'm playing the wall. I'm the wallflower. I'm all the way in the back of the room on the wall. Pardon my listeners out there. I keep moving my arm because I'm excited. I videotaped this. Allegedly, I videotaped my question to the gentleman. And I said, "Hi, Third Day Collective, Rafael Alvarez. Good morning, America. Real quick, this is 11,000 people in the conference, right? What strain of agricultural hemp is your CBD oil derived from?"
Oh my God.
So that is one of my 4 trick questions that can't be answered because the answer doesn't exist. There's a rough answer, but nobody has the intelligence to be able to give the rough answer. We're now at $4,000. If you can find, this is a challenge to anyone listening. I will Cash App you immediately. I'll Cash App you yesterday, right now. If you're hearing this, ask people these questions. What strain of agricultural hemp is your CBD oil derived from? Find me one CBD oil that is not extracted through critical CO2, butane, ethanol, or rosin extraction. Find me anyone who's invented their own proprietary process of extraction with a general proof. Find me a strain-specific CBD that is not isolate mixed with MCT mixed with food-grade terpenes. I want hemp terpenes that are derived from the specific genetic makeup of the agricultural hemp plant. The reason why nobody can fulfill this challenge is because it's time. remember I said time is against us earlier, right? Before we started recording. They ask me, how much can you make? Because that's their value system. How much can we turn around from that mold mildew field over there of hemp that went bad? How fast can I turn that into that crude onto the open market? I need to turn it around. So they'll take, literally, if there's 10,000 plants, it only costs maximum $10,000. It's $1 a seed. And earth and God's photonic matrix sending light to the plant. This thing is pretty strong. It needs almost nothing. A little sun, a little water, and you will yield a ton. Plus, they're all auto flowers because they're genetically modified. So all the flower that most people are smoking is genetically modified unless you have a landrace strain, which you couldn't pick a landrace strain out if I covered your body with seeds like a nerd's factory. You don't know what a landrace is. You don't know where you're at. That is another part. That's that knowledge I always talk about. These people can't explain why there's a value to how long it takes to make my oil. But like I said, I have 7 years ago oil sitting. So I obtained an entire field then, which was an entire crop, and I put it into an aging process so that in time, not only could I pull from it, but the value will be higher because it's extracted more.
Like
and
wine.
It's like a wine. I just thought of it like that. I was coming out of the shrub making and kombucha making. Shrubs are drinking vinegars and kombucha making. Mm-hmm. So during all this time, as we're obtaining seeds from Czechoslovakia, I'm also starting a garden, which on Instagram was Shrub Social Club. So I started a guerrilla garden of vegetables behind my duplex when I didn't even have money for rent. Okay? I'm talking about rows of radishes and corn and strawberries. It was like absurd. Plus, I went vegan then, no girlfriend, a lot of me time, a lot of reading, a lot of just like on my own, you know? And that's when I learned to love the cannabis plant. I listened to Barrington Levy's Black Roses. Black, black roses in my garden. Terrible voice. I thought the whole time he was talking about growing weed. I watched an AOL Music behind the scenes. He said, truthfully, he admitted it was about a woman, but everyone in the world thinks it's about cannabis.
Nice.
And he said black roses, so I'm like visualizing this black weed plant in Jamaica somewhere. Longer story long. I'm here now. I'm with y'all, man. You know, I did my thing.
Oh, that's right. We talked about...
I put my time in. This is just my story about how I came to be.
Yeah.
You know, and that's as high as I went was the Good Morning America. But yeah, I spoke to the biggest big dog in the entire world. And I asked him a few technical questions, and he started Harlem shaking. He don't know where he was at. He thought he was time traveling.
You caught him. You fucking...
People chased me in the parking lot,
What'd he say?
He goes, you know what he goes? He goes, we're growing, first of all,
you made a fucking ass
I'm
out
a
of that
4-time
guy.
award-winning public speaker, okay? I am a 4-time award-winning public speaker, and I'm also a Toastmaster. Toastmasters is
I always wanted to do that. I always thought listen, that was my forte, bro. I took a public speaking class in college, and I fucking aced it without having to break a sweat.
Come on. I didn't even try. I got an A+.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Toastmaster, I love that shit.
You can do it. You're like Ace Ventura level animated, listen, bro. So you can handle. You're
my God,
the mask
what a
level.
compliment!
I know, totally.
You're
I'm a
the
huge
mask
fucking
of TikTok.
I
Straight
love
up.
Jim Carrey, so that is a huge compliment. Thank you.
He's trying to open up an art studio in Hialeah.
Oh my God!
Shut up,
Jim Carrey.
You guys have no idea what's going on with Jim Carrey right now, do you?
I listen.
It's
okay,
crazy.
Hold on a second.
Graffiti.
He is. I feel like. I feel like we need to preserve Jim Carrey because I feel like that guy is so aware and so fucking...
You saw the videos.
he is an artist. He also paints, and it is like the guy is unlimited talent, and you're scared because
He paints.
he's got a lot of layers to unpack.
James Carey from Canada.
No, listen, that's why I say we need to preserve Jim Carrey, because I feel like if anybody will teeter off, it hits him. He's got a lot going on. He's got a lot going
He's got
on.
a new movie coming out too.
Yeah, and then he has a whole show. Like I'm sorry, I love Jim Carrey. Anyways,
Yeah, all because of the Ace Ventura compliment.
I know, but I could
I'm
talk
trying
for
to
days
tell you
about Jim Carrey.
all of that. But yeah, so that ended up making me. Once I got it tested, and it came back safe. I have no pesticide, no fungicide, no herbicide, no heavy metal, no water content, no filth. The terpene profile is in the 15 percentile range. That is unheard of because of the genetics I'm using. Plus, our farm is certified clean green, which is its own variation of categorization of cleanliness, that they're the only one that even hold it. So organic's cool until you see what organic is on a farm. You'll go, oh, that's not that good. Heirloom, everybody chases heirloom. Everybody chases Dr. Sabi non-mucus forming genetics of root vegetables and herbs, et cetera, et cetera. But it's very interesting how the human body, how we communicate with these plants and how they serve us. For example, potatoes are poisonous. You eat a potato in the wild, a wild potato, it'll kill you. Potatoes, if you ever cut a sweet potato in half quickly with a sharp knife, you'll see a white sap that forms.
Yeah, what the fuck is that?
That's it trying to kill you.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
But
actually, that's true because, like,
our stomach lining's used to it now.
yeah.
So all of these things are very interesting.
See, there's a reason I don't like
Oh my
vegetables.
No. You have to
God.
be careful. Like certain potatoes, even if you buy them at the
Potatoes?
store, potatoes. Yeah.
I'm
So-
growing some right now.
So
I don't even think I'm going to
potatoes,
eat
if
them.
they're not underneath
Nervous.
the ground well enough for far enough, they will like make you very, very sick if you eat them.
Word.
If it's like a green skin. Yeah.
Exactly.
I've seen them.
Well, don't eat them.
I know, but I mean, I see them and I go, oh,
My
what is this,
boyfriend
an
thought
ugly
I
potato?
was crazy. Like, he's like,
Telling
what
him
the
that?
fuck you mean green potatoes? And I'm like, no, really, green.
Yeah.
And
Get out on the farm, man.
I'm
Get
like,
out,
what?
boots
You
on
think
the
a
ground,
potato
I
is
call
supposed
it.
to be green?
No, that's why every time I would see those, I'd go,
Okay.
"This is something not right about this," and I toss those.
So it has to do
and they
with
get
the,
rancid if you leave
Yeah.
them. Yeah.
So the sun, if it something about having to do, what's it, photosynthesis? Yeah, so if it happens with potatoes, so they are typically, everything we eat is genetically modified to look pretty because it has
Right.
to be appealing to our eyes for consumers
I
to buy
know.
it, psychology, and that's why I know about it.
Just
Because
think
there's a
about
whole
this. You
psychology.
guys ever got so high
Have you
thought
heard about the fish?
the indoor weed? Go ahead, fish.
Fish is the same thing.
What about bananas?
I'm
Fish.
vegan. 8 years. Come on.
Oh yeah.
Bananas.
Shout out
Wow.
Hemp Lane
Obviously.
Vegan Cafe.
Bananas, like, we should not eat bananas. They used to be
Underground
filled with
DJ.
seeds.
Bananas used to be
True.
filled
Yes.
with seeds.
Big seeds, this big.
Big black seeds.
What?
Wow.
The only banana that is close to
Is
our
that why it
reality
looks
is
little black?
tiny. Those little baby
Those
bananas.
Just chiquitas.
Little baby chiquitas.
Yeah.
Those
Or
are the
like
closest to
plátano is
original
like
banana?
1,000
Yeah.
years away from what it really is. It's crazy.
Interesting.
Very interesting.
My boyfriend's brother actually works in the modifying industry.
True.
Yeah.
He's never not
Genetically
going to have a job.
No, he actually, you're right. Yeah, the government just bought him.
He's helping us
Just
become 4% corn now. Our body
yeah,
makeup
corn
is in everything.
and the silos are filled with corn.
Gas is corn. The plastic's corn.
Yeah, we
Corny.
I hate that I
are
like corn
I
because
love
I
corn.
know
I love
that
corn.
everything
It's
has corn
delicious.
in it.
I think you're
We're good.
Oh,
item
not
just fell.
it
Okay.
fell. Yeah.
Oh, but it's plugged in. It's fine.
I mean,
Get
It's
on the
windy out
ground in a
here.
farm, guys. Grow. Feel it. Watch it grow. You know, see what it takes once in your life. Grab something and start growing it. If everyone
I'm
grew
so
food,
bad at
And-
growing.
or- Okay,
it would
have
be
a
a whole nother
compost.
world. Composting is super
we
fire. I
thought
compost
about
too.
that.
Yeah, we
too.
compost.
Oh, you guys could do it for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get the little spinner compost.
I'm bad at a lot of things, you guys. I've tried to grow plants.
I feel you, though.
I've
Life
tried
is so
to grow
fast.
plants, and I had a really nice seedling. I had found a seed in one of the things we got, and I was like, oh, let me try this again. I killed it. I'm terrible.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
A bag seed?
Yeah, something like that.
It's
People have
Something
became
like that.
millionaires because of a bag seed.
You might.
You know,
maybe.
you go down to Cookies and get a Georgia pie or an ice cream cake. They're genetically modified to never drop a seed. If there's a bag seed in there, well, you're holding something that can be crossed. It might not be the best, but it might be. You never know. So what I was going to ask you is, have you ever smoked so much? This is an open question to the world. Anybody ever smoked and got to a level where they start self-talking themselves to death, asking themselves, so I'm smoking a flower from a room full of all-girl plants that are being forced to feel like they're dying and express sugar like the potato expresses that sap to try to hurt whatever's hurting it. You ever think about that? Or you never thought of that in your life?
No, I've never thought of that ever.
Oh.
I've been thinking of that for a very long time.
No, me neither.
I'm thinking about who are we that we keep taking these girl plants
have you thought
and
of it?
girl plants and more girl plants and like if you're a true feminist, even I've thought in that deep where you're taking plants and turning them into slaves for what? For money?
Yes.
Do you buy acid or does acid get gifted to you? The truth is, intention is everything. So you should be gifted your psychedelics, your psilocybin, your ecstasies, etc. These should come, natural, I would say natural things that are expressing.
So they naturally come into our
When
path.
you buy mushrooms from Buddy, this isn't good. The intention's already off.
But every time I've ever
So
done
start
shroom-
growing
well, that's
your
not
own.
true. That's
Grow
not
your
true.
own.
Some of the best shrooms I ever got were a gift from. Okay, I was in Bonnaroo, and this was like the worst.
Oh my gosh,
Bonnaroo.
I've heard a lot about your.
So it was the first year I had gone with a fucked up foot, and I was in a wheelchair the whole time, but I wasn't going to miss this festival. So it was a shitty time because I was in a wheelchair the whole time, but I had some good moments. But at the end, on the last day,
you didn't have to walk. I mean, that's
but my poor husband had to push me around everywhere. But on the last day, a hippie nearby was shooting off fireworks, and one lands in my tent and sets my tent on fire.
This is the saddest thing I've ever heard of my life.
Lands on my suitcase or my bag where I bought all my shrooms and everything for the weekend, all the drugs for the weekend, which I wasn't taking because of the fact that I had a messed up foot and I didn't want to be in a wheelchair shrooming. So it was something I was going to save for later on, right? All freaking gone. Fire. Just like that. From a firework. And I had,
Oh my God.
and so the hippie
because
came
you
over. He
didn't
felt
take it.
so bad that what happened. And then I told him about my stash, what happened there. And he just felt awful. And he's like, I'm going to try to see if I can get you another tent. He didn't get me another tent, but he returned back to our campground a little while later with a red Solo cup filled with the most beautiful shrooms I had ever seen.
God, for real.
Talk to me. Come on.
I was like, oh my God, thank you.
Probably some
He's like,
African
thank you. I'm so
cultivated
sad.
organic.
I feel so bad about what happened, but I hope this can make up for it. And I was like, it does. Thanks, man. I really appreciate that.
And they were amazing.
They were. I didn't eat them then, but I did save them for later when I wasn't crippled.
Yeah, when you can enjoy it when you can ultimately enjoy it.
And they
the
were
most.
amazing. They were, and I had shrooms for a while.
So nice.
And
See?
you always have the story of that guy. He did make up for it.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
such a happy
hippies are the
story.
Hippie's intention is different, man. You know? It is. Their life is slowed down. You think they're sitting on Facebook all day? It's just so interesting what it does to you. All of it. If anybody is listening, if you take anything from what I've been saying, I want you to know this. I had to reevaluate my value system and look at myself in the mirror as I became an adult and a father. This is the Pot Smoking Moms podcast. And I decided to do something that would bring something to the table of life. I actually produce something, and I started to look at people who didn't produce anything and just consumed, totally different. Now, I wasn't made of money then. I'm still not made of money. So I had to convince myself of the things I really need that are a necessity and things that I don't. And I thought that if I can grow hemp, eventually I can grow hemp seeds, which the inside of a hemp seed is hemp heart, and which is a complete protein, especially in the plant world. So I could grow enough to make enough hemp tempeh or hemp tofu to season it with different things, and I could grow to stay alive. I wanted to go self-sustainable because I had nothing. When you have nothing, you'll save the seed of an apple and go, man, let's just see what happens. And it goes.
Reach him at Third Day Collective on Instagram, and Diane is at pothead_mom. Thanks
I loved that night. We had so much fun.
We had lots of fun.
Yeah, we talked a lot, but it was a lot of. He had a lot of great information. I was really blown away with some of the information he had about hemp and CBD, and I still don't completely understand what Delta 8 is. I mean, I know it's a derivative from CBD, but I guess I haven't tried it yet to see.
Yeah, I think you need to try it, and I think we can continue the conversation on Delta 8. We're going to hear more about it because it's popping up all over the place, to be honest. So it's not going away, and we're just going to, learn more and more about it. Yeah. So thank you so much for joining us and spending time with us, with the Pot Smoking Moms. We want to give special thanks to our podcast monthly supporters, Lauren Hadsel, April Collins, Christy Rodriguez, Destiny Adams, Yanni Reyes. We have a Patreon, guys. Please, you can listen to all of the interviews uncut, full interviews, and get our shows before everybody else gets their grubby little hands on it. So
yeah, because this was 2 hours of content that we're not going to put. We didn't put the whole interview into this.
Yeah, episode. we're not gonna be able to put the whole interview in this episode. So if you want to hear more, please go over to our Patreon and sign up. Follow, like, review, subscribe to all of our podcasts. Pot Smoking Moms is our website, and we thank you once again for hanging out with us.
See ya.